Beer before liquor, never been sicker, or liquor before beer, you're in the clear. Is there any truth to that? Let me explain. The order in which you drink might not matter as much as you think. It's really the amount and the time in which you consume the alcohol in. For instance, spirits or liquor right here, it's represented in red. And if you're gonna be taking shots of liquor, well, you're gonna consume it a lot faster than if you're going to be just sipping some beers throughout the night. Goes without saying, correct? So let's say if you have 4 shots of liquor throughout the night, you'll see a dramatic spike in this red line, where your BAC, it's gonna reach its pinnacle in a shorter time frame than if you were to be sipping 4 beers throughout the night. And it seems obvious. You space them out, you pace them out, and you don't feel that sharp spike throughout your night. But that's not really our question here. What happens when you're mixing beer and liquor? So say you're drinking liquor before beer because you want to be in the clear. It'll look similar to this. The first 2 shots of liquor will look just like the first 2 shots of liquor. But then you space out those beers shortly thereafter, and you're gonna be looking at this. The initial spike is high, but then you ease into the rest of your night, but ultimately your BAC still reaches that peak at some time. But what if you have beers before liquor? Will you be sicker? It looks more like this. Space and pace out your beers, and right after that second one you start taking shots, well, you're gonna feel that spike to where that alcohol is gonna be hitting you in a shorter time span than if you went liquor before beer. But at the end of the day, does that really matter? And the answer is yes, it does matter, because you want to be exposed to as little acetaldehyde as possible throughout your night. Best way to do so, ditch both the liquor and the beer and don't drink at all. But if you're an adult and you choose to drink, you can be smarter about it by spacing out your drinks and not spiking your BAC way too high throughout the night. You must drink in moderation, and you must be conscious about the time span in which you're drinking. So there is a little bit of truth to the liquor before beer, you're in the clear, and there's a little bit of truth to the beer before liquor, never been sicker. But it's not so much the order itself that is determining how you feel the next day, it's the amount of alcohol and the time span in which you intake it. So say if you were to be chugging 4 beers at the same rate of taking 4 shots, well, BAC is still gonna spike. If you were to shotgun one of these, it's a glass bottle, so it'd make a mess, but you get what I'm saying. And if you were to sip on 4 shots at the same rate that you sipped on 4 beers, you'd feel relatively the same. So no matter what, you're gonna wanna look out for yourself and your health. One way to help out with alcohol's negative effects that comes with the next day is by taking Cheers Restore. It's an after alcohol aid that gets to the primary 2 reasons why you truly feel bad the day after drinking, which is GABA rebound and acetaldehyde exposure. And what GABA rebound is, it's that psychological sensation that comes with that next day. So if you ever experience brain fog, if you're ever a little jittery, if you got terrible sleep after a night of drinking, that's GABA rebound at play. And one way to help reduce it is by taking the flavonoid DHM, which actually binds to the same brain receptors that alcohol binds to, GABA receptors, to effectively satiate that receptor and buffer that rebound the next day to where it's not as drastic of a downfall and you're not left with so many mental woes the next morning. Not only that, the DHM also helps to clear acetaldehyde out of your system. And it does so by speeding up the enzyme activity of ALDH, which is responsible for converting acetaldehyde into acetate, and then you just pee it out. But then the second primary ingredient in Cheers Restore is called L-cysteine, and that actually helps to reduce acetaldehyde level, because whenever you drink alcohol, it's converted into acetaldehyde in your system, and that acetaldehyde happens to be 20 times more toxic than alcohol is itself. So of course, you may want the alcohol because it can lead to a good time and help you feel good, but you do not want that acetaldehyde because that's when you're exposed to all the nastiness. And what the L-cysteine in Cheers does, it'll bind to that acetaldehyde when it's in your system and form a non-toxic compound called MTCA, which effectively neutralizes acetaldehyde and lowers those levels. So it's really triple action when it comes to helping yourself feel better the day after drinking. All that said, if you're gonna be ripping shots all night, you're gonna get into the danger zone fast. So my advice, sip low and slow, keep it in a moderate range, and then take Cheers after your last drink before bed so that you can wake up feeling like you had half as many drinks or your money back, which we guarantee. So order yours right now for the next time that you go out so that you can be prepared and ready to go that next morning. Cheers.